part 3. I'm doing this. Wow, it's crazy. I've made it this far. Whew, I just have to take a breather before I kind of get into this. Said it's very emotional for me to record this. So talking about it, it does bring back some emotions for me, but I'm so glad that I'm doing this. And now you guys are going to see part 3. So, I left off where Christian, I believe Christian when he said that, I didn't cheat on you. I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. So, obviously our relationship was still on shaky ground. I mean, I was not happy about the situation, but we were still hanging out. We were still like technically together, not title wise, but we were still together. And, he told me that he felt okay with another girl sleeping in his bed because we had officially broke up. So he told me that too. He said, I didn't really think it was a big deal and I didn't do anything with her. So I was like, okay, whatever. And that always still stuck in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, did he actually cheat on me? Is he actually telling the truth? Really, I should have just cut it right there, but I didn't. I believed in him because he was so believable. If you ever come across this guy, I mean, he can literally sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, he is just that good at making someone believe him. So, like, if you meet him, you just know he's just that type of personality. But, I was like, I do trust that this guy loves me. I mean, he does everything for me. He always tells me how much he cares about me. And he shows it, too, through a lot of different ways. So, I pushed that to the side and we kept on going. I was still mad. We were still on shaky ground. And I actually went over to my friend Andrew's house like that night after he had that girl in his bed. And, I asked Andrew, I'm like, Andrew, like, this is what happened today. This whole thing with Christian happened. I am so, like, devastated by this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he actually did cheat on me. And Andrew's kind of like, really? Like, you actually think that he didn't cheat on you, Anna? I'm just like, but didn't you see how much he loves me and how much he just was like obsessed with me? And he's just kind of like, Andrew's just one of those type of people. He doesn't want to have like uncomfortable conversations and he doesn't want to make me feel bad. But Andrew was trying to be supportive of me and he wanted to like not go against how I felt about Christian, and he didn't want to say like, oh, you shouldn't be with him, you shouldn't. Like, Andrew's not that type of person. Andrew did say, though, he was like, Anna, you can do what you want with him, but I'm done with him. I have nothing good to say about him. So like, we talked about that pretty much the whole night. Him and I had pretty deep conversations, but I tried to keep it light most of the time because I didn't want to show like any type of strong weakness to Andrew. But I was trying to keep it together, and he was just being supportive of me and what I wanted, and I found that really nice. So yeah, we just go about our days. But so then February 8th comes, because I believe that incident with Christian happened around like February 3rd. So February 8th comes. I remember being nauseous one morning at work. I ran to the bathroom and I like gagged over the toilet because I thought I was going to throw up. I had like this metallic taste in my mouth and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is so weird. And like in my mind, I'm like, okay, am I pregnant? Like, what is going on? I literally had my period in January. I'm not having it now. Sorry, TMI. I know that's like TMI, but it was just the weirdest thing. And I'm like, okay, if I am pregnant, then at least I know I'm okay because I haven't drank since beginning of January, and I haven't hit a joint since the beginning of January. I haven't done anything. So if I am pregnant, I'm okay. Well, my mom texted me a couple days later and she was like, Anna, you really need to go get an OBGYN appointment because you said that your periods are kind of messed up. You're missing them and then you're having them. She's like, you really need to get an appointment. And I'm like, yeah, I need to. So then I end up taking another Clear Blue pregnancy test and it was negative. So I told my mom, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just having periods every other month now. I don't know, Mom. Like, this has never happened to me before, but I'm not pregnant. And she's like, okay, good. Like, thank God you're not. So, whatever. Like, the whole month of February for Christian and I was very rocky, shaky grounds. I basically told him that I wanted to just be his friend. So it was kind of like more of a friends with benefits relationship, more than anything at that point, because there was just so many things that hurt me, and there was just so much I was also dealing with internally about like his previous attachments. And I gotta be honest, and I'm just gonna say just say it, of the shit that I have put Christian through. I have told him that I don't really like guys with kids. I don't really like guys that have had previous marriages and stuff, because it's just one of those things where I want to be the somebody's first, I don't want to experience that with somebody that had already had those things. Like, to me, it wouldn't feel as special. And I just don't want to deal with the emotions that come with the insecurities of, those things. I didn't. So I will say, like, I have like told him several times about it, but, he just kept love bombing me and being so nice to me that I just overlooked those things for a short period of time. But I still kept going with the relationship because I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just eventually get over it. I'm gonna kind of like speed this up a little bit. But yeah, like for Valentine's Day, he bought me another beautiful bouquet of roses, a big happy Valentine's Day balloon. He wrote me a note basically saying, like, I know our relationship hasn't been perfect, but I just want to know, I just want to make you happy every single day. I love you, Anna. I hope we can have a family one day and we just be together and happy, and I hope we get married. Just all these nice things to kind of get me back into that state of loving him. Like, I was trying to like find that love for him again, but it was very hard for me to do. And so I want to bring this up because this is going to be important for later. So when Christian and it was probably around like October, November time, he told me that if him and I were to have a child, that he wanted to name, if it was a boy, I asked him, I said, what do you think for boys' names? If in the future we did get married and had a child. He was like, I love the name Spencer. He said that so quickly. He's like, Spencer. I love the name Spencer, like 100%. I'm like, okay, yeah, like I like that name too. But what was weird though, he was just so stuck on that name, Spencer. But what was weird though was like at the end of January, after we had like that huge fight, he broke my TV and all that shit. I'm just curious, just for conversational purposes, what names do you have picked out for like boys and girls? Just so I could bring it up again so we could like talk about it again. And so these are his new answers for boys. Number 1, Tate. 2, Lee. Number 3, Luke. What happened to the Spencer name? He loved that name so much. And then for girls, he was like, I like Piper, Harper, or Sadie. Those are my favorites right now. So just kind of keep that in your mind, because it's important for later. So, fast forward to middle of March, okay? Actually, no, let's backtrack. So remember how I was saying, like, I wanted to meet his family because I didn't feel close with them. I didn't know why he never introduced me to his family, and, why I never met the girls, why I never met his mother. So he basically had his mom start texting me. So she was texting me from the end of, let me see here, because I have it in my phone still. Her name is Diane. Just to get close with me. She had started texting me from February 12th, okay, all the way until middle of April. So she was texting me for like every day for 3 months. Because she was like wanting to get to know me, and she was just saying, actually, here's some of about Christian, like how he is as a person, and how this is one thing that she said. I am telling you, he mowed the grass and took care of his best friend's mom when she had cancer, literally till the day she passed, only because her kids wouldn't. He missed his own prom to take her to the ER. His heart is way bigger than his brain. So basically, I'm talking to his mom, and his mom is like saying all these good things about Christian, and basically kind of getting me back into the mindset like, oh wow, Christian is such a good person. Like, he's so selfless. He's so giving to other people. And, that's very attractive to somebody. That is very attractive to a woman when a man just has a huge heart. So it kind of like sucked me back into Christian. So fast forward, Christian and I end up going to Florida. Now at this time, things, like I said, we're still a little rocky. We just had issues, we were still kind of fighting all the time. We just didn't really jive at this point. But we thought, okay, let's go to Florida for a few days and we'll see if this changes anything or makes anything better. So we get down to Tampa. We're there for 4 days. We go to Clearwater. We have a pretty good time. And, so whatever. The third day that we're in Florida, we were drinking too. I was drinking like at least two Bloody Marys every single day, and then maybe like a White Claw. So I was drinking quite a bit. Well, Christian was like, Anna, you should really take a pregnancy test before we go to Florida because, I feel like you could be, but you shouldn't be drinking, so you need to take one. And I'm like, I'm not fucking taking one. I am not pregnant. Like, shut up about it. Like, I'm happy. Leave me alone. I was like so stuck in my mind. And I was so like, no. I took one. Like, I'm not. So, third day, we're in Florida. I decide, you know what? Maybe Christian's right. I don't know. I just had like a gut feeling for some reason. I didn't have any symptoms, like no pregnancy symptoms whatsoever. I was like feeling great. The only problem that I had was on the plane ride there. I did feel a little bit nauseous, but I was like, okay, like I never feel nauseous on planes. Like, this is so weird, but maybe my body's just changing. So that was like the only indication that I had. So I was like, okay, maybe Christian's right. Maybe I should take one. So I go in the bathroom I take one. Immediately, dude. It was a pink. It wasn't a clear blue. I literally bought the cheapest pregnancy test. And the two lines turn pink within like a second. Like it was instant. There was no doubt. There was no sort of like, maybe. Like, no. They were like dark pink lines. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't even tell Christian. I literally just went back to the bed where he was. And he went into the bathroom. And he's like, yeah, you're pregnant. And so he gets down on the bed. He acts like so nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, you should probably call a doctor. And that wasn't the reaction that I had expected from Christian. I actually thought that he was going to be like excited because he wanted all these things. He wanted a family, he wanted marriage and all this stuff. Like this was part of his list. It was like, this is what I want, is for you to get pregnant. God, I hate saying that now. And I was so hurt when I just saw he was so nonchalant about it. He was just like, oh, fuck. Like, yeah, you should probably call the doctor. So I did. I end up calling the OBGYN. And I was like, yeah, I need to make an appointment. And, she's like, okay, yeah, just come in when you get back, whatever. Get your blood tests and stuff, and we'll go from there. Well, so I was mad the rest of the Florida trip. I was treating Christian like shit because he was like so even keel and nonchalant about this. Because I thought he was like mad or disappointed or sad about this. And I was kind of hoping that he had a different reaction. But he didn't. And also, like, at that time, I was still on shaky ground with him, and I didn't know how I really felt about him. But, I thought, like, he would be happy, but he wasn't. So, yeah. So we get home from Florida, and then he basically tells me that his daughter, Hannah, is moving back to his house because I guess the story was, Lauren, his ex-wife, had Hannah and Charlotte for the whole entire school year, because Christian wanted to focus on his mental health. So Lauren ended up taking the girls for the school year, supposedly. But Hannah wanted to come back and live with her dad, which is Christian. Like, she wanted to live with him. And he told me, he's like, Hannah literally is moving back in 2 days. I have to be there for her. I'm a single dad. I have to run for her. I have to take her to school. I got to make sure that she's doing all the right things. I need to cook for her. Like, I just don't have time to spend the night with you anymore. He's like, maybe some days, but Hannah is moving back and you're not going to meet her yet because we need to be on better terms, but I have to be there for her. So I was like, okay. So literally, he did not spend the night at my house from March 23rd all the way until forever. Like March 23rd, 2023, until like forever. So that was a huge struggle for me. I struggled mentally. So I go take this test for the pregnancy, and apparently my HCG levels were high. So the time comes where, and I was so nervous too, because I was like, oh crap, like I drank a bunch. Oh my God, I was drinking in January. I drank this past week in Florida. I was freaking out, dude. I was not in a good place at all when I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh my God, so many wrong decisions. And him and I were not good. It was just bad. I was so, I was just devastated about everything. I was devastated that I was pregnant. I was devastated that I drank while I was pregnant and I didn't even know. But then I talked myself into thinking like, okay, maybe I'm only like 4 weeks. Maybe it's not a big deal. It's not going to affect the baby. So I'm going to kind of touch on this. So after Christian and I get home from Florida, it was shortly after. Yeah, so he was in the process of moving Hannah back into his house, supposedly. And I guess he was kind of feeling guilty because I had told him that, I never met his family and I want to meet his daughters one day. So he actually ends up bringing Charlotte, his 8-year-old daughter, over to my house. And I was like really surprised. Like, she got out of the truck. She was so cute. She was really shy at first. And I kind of knew that she wanted to stay by her dad. So like she came into my house, my house was still under construction and she was shy, as to be expected, but Christian was basically trying to make me feel better because I wanted to meet his girls. So he decided to bring Charlotte over. And Charlotte has never seen me, supposedly, even though that time that I went over to his house and saw him naked in bed with another girl, apparently she'd never seen me, not sure, or she didn't really put 2 and 2 together of what was going on or who I was. So, Charlotte, Christian, and I hang out for a little bit. And, I'm talking really nice to her, just being, friendly with her. She's 8 years old. So she's starting to warm up to me. So then her and Christian go to Walmart and she buys me this SpongeBob mug because he knew that I liked SpongeBob. So she's like, I got you a present, SpongeBob and blue Takis, because I liked Flamin' Hot stuff and hot chips. So he basically goes to the store with Charlotte and Charlotte picks out the SpongeBob mug and wanted to give me Takis. So I thought that was really sweet. And that actually made me feel better that I met her because I was like, oh, okay. So he is going to bring me around his kids. Just not Hannah yet, but I got to be patient and wait to meet Hannah. I wanted to meet Hannah for so long because I feel like her and I would have jived a little bit more because she was older. She was 13 at the time. So I was like, she's going to get her driver's license in a few years and I could teach her how to drive and all this stuff. So I was anticipating that. But he did introduce me to Charlotte. And the reason why it made me feel good too was because he always called Charlotte his favorite child. So for him to introduce me to his favorite, I felt like he was still being serious about me. Even though we were on shaky ground, I had a little bit more faith in the longevity of our relationship. And it put a little bit of hope back in me. So, there was that. But I did feel better after I met her. So April 1st comes around and, his mom is still texting me. She's still checking up on me. She's like, I hear that you guys are pregnant, da-da-da, I'm happy for you, all these things. And so April 1st comes. That's when I have my first golf tournament. Him and I did not have the title. We were not dating. But he asked me on that day, he was like, Anna, do you want to be my girlfriend again? I want you to be my girlfriend, da-da-da. Will you please be my girlfriend again? And I think the only reason why he asked me on that day was because he knew I was going to be around all these guys playing amateur golf, and he was so insecure about me finding somebody else that day. He was so insecure about it. So he was blowing up my mom. He was like, "Where is she at? I haven't heard from Anna all day. I haven't talked to her. What is she doing? What's going on? Is she safe? Like, what's..." And my mom's like, "Dude, she's golfing. Leave her alone." So that whole thing gets squashed. And then I also want to touch on this. So I did lie. Christian spent the night. So after we got back from Florida, Christian did end up spending the night a couple more nights, like 2 more nights at my house after we come back from Florida. So he spends the night at my house April 8th through April 9th. He spends the night at my house. And April 9th, I believe, was Easter. Because I remember him waking up, he gets out of bed, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this family event that I'm going to. We're doing Easter." But I was like, "Well, I'm doing Easter at my house, so okay, like, go do your thing, whatever." So we go our separate ways for Easter. But, oh yeah, that night, so April 8th, yes, that was the one night that he did spend the night at my house. But that night, I had gone to my friend Alicia's birthday party. And we all went to this restaurant, and we just all sat around, talked, we drank. I did not drink that night because I was like, I knew that I was pregnant. So I didn't tell anybody about it. I just kind of kept silent. But again, Christian's one of those people that he doesn't like to not know what I'm doing and where I'm at. He wants to know everything, and he wants to always keep talking to me when I'm doing stuff. So he puts his mother and himself in a group chat, and he says, "Hey nerds, I wanted to laugh about Aunt Donna driving through." Oh, because he always says that his Aunt Donna, okay, that's another thing. He always said that his Aunt Donna was at his house because she's old. That's one of his like best friends. It's his Aunt Donna. And that she comes around every once in a while to hang out with him because Aunt Donna just loves him. Whatever. "Hey nerds, I wanted to laugh about Aunt Donna driving through. Did you plan this, Mother? And Miss Anna is out to dinner. Probably shaking that booty. We napped most of the day, but I wanted to say I love you and happy Easter." He was saying this to his mother. And then Diane said, she told me she was headed that way. I did not think she would stop by, but she is old, so deal with it. And I love you and little Miss Anna. Happy Easter, you two. Call me when your aunt leaves. Christian said, "I will, Mom. We have to catch up on Anna stuff anyways. We have our appointment Monday, and I have not had a chance to talk to you about it. But Anna did say today, once she goes black, she ain't coming back." This is just him being funny. Diane said, "Well, I am excited. I will be waiting then. I will be up a little while yet. And if Anna wants chocolate ding dong in her life, well, that's up to her." This is what Diane was saying. Just kind of funny, but Christian said, I can't even say this. She once told me. So then Christian says, "But it's all good. She will be the mother of my child." Laughing face. She is pretty perfect. Aunt Donna is literally out of control. What is her issue lately with money? She seems broke. And then Diane said, "I don't know. She's had a lot of issues lately, but she likes to come see you. I think she just misses you. And Anna, if you kill him, that is fine. I will forgive you." the next day is Easter. So we're going to fast forward to April 17th. This is the day that I get my ultrasound, my first ultrasound. And I go into the room where they do the ultrasound, and Christian was with me. This was the only time that he had gone with me to an appointment. We go in there, and she's like, your HCG levels are high. You're probably at least like 14 weeks. And I'm like, no, there's absolutely no way. I literally took so many pregnancy tests, and, I think I'm probably only 4 weeks, because I was like I was in possible denial. I just didn't really think it was possible because all the other tests were negative. I'm like, no, I think I'm 4 weeks. Well, she does the ultrasound, and she jumps. The ultrasound technician, she is like, whoa, while she's doing it. I'm like kind of mortified. And Christian was like, what the fuck? So she was like, there's a full head. She's like, yeah, that's like a full formed baby. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? My jaw literally almost dropped to the floor. I was in such shock. And you know what she tells me? She's like, yeah, I think you're further along than we thought. I'm like, okay, do tell. And she's like, yeah, you're about 16 or 17 weeks. And then she does the head measurements and the body measurements and all that stuff. And she was like, you're 17 weeks pregnant. And I am like, what the fuck? So that means I was literally pregnant at the beginning. I still don't have the calculations completely, but I was pregnant at the beginning of December, pretty much. After all those negative pregnancy tests. And then I find out from her that, I'm 17 weeks. I was like, what the heck? And these were early detection, clear blue pregnancy tests, the best. No, I will never advise clear blue to anybody. That shit is such a scam. I was so fucking pissed. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out because I knew I drank a lot. I've done stuff. I've done edibles. I smoked weed. There's just so many things, obviously not hard drugs, but I was not happy. So I was looking at, different clinics and stuff. I hate saying that on here, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm just being honest, right? That's what I'm doing. So I looked at several clinics in Michigan because I'm like, oh my God, my child is going to be insane, crazy or messed up mentally, because I made so many stupid decisions and I had no idea that I was pregnant. I had all these negative pregnancy tests. So it's why wouldn't I continue, just having fun? I didn't know, but I was so guilty, and I was so oh my God, I'm like, Christian, we gotta schedule something. We gotta get this done. I'd done so many bad things. He's like, that's my child too. I don't want you to do it. This is really emotional for me, but if you want me to schedule it, I'll schedule it. So he was really upset about it. So he actually scheduled a clinic for me to get something done, and I didn't go through with it. And then as time went on, I had scheduled another appointment, and I still didn't go through with it, because a little bit of faith took over, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe my child is going to be fine. Maybe things are going to be good. Maybe it will be a boy. I was just thinking all these positive things to kind of keep me grounded. But I want to touch on, so my birthday was May 4th. It was a terrible birthday. Absolutely freaking terrible. Again, Christian did not really spend much time together from March 23rd until forever. Like, literally, I was like abandoned. I was pretty much abandoned. So I spent my birthday with my mom. It was terrible. It was like the worst birthday of my entire life. And I told her on my birthday, I'm like, I'm going to get a termination because, Mom, I can't do this. I literally cannot do this. This guy has abandoned me. We're in so much crap. I drank through all this time. I don't know if the child's going to be right in the head. I don't know. I feel like I messed her up, or, I feel like I messed the baby up, and I don't want to take this chance. And she's like, well, that's not the answer, Anna. Like, you can do this. You can go through with it. I was so depressed. I was so anxious. I was about 21 weeks pregnant when I decided to not show up at my job anymore, because him and I worked together, and it was so freaking weird. When we went to work together, because he wasn't spending any time with me, he pretty much just abandoned me. And I felt like I was dealing with all of this stuff by myself. Like, oh my God, like all this anxiety and all this, like we were just on shaky ground. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I couldn't work there anymore. I couldn't work with him. Things were just so bad. I ended up just not showing back up to work. And I did feel good about it, because I'm like, thank God, like I can finally stop being so anxious and I don't have to like look at Christian every day if he doesn't want to hang out with me. Like, maybe I just need to kind of move on. And I was preparing myself to just kind of move on. Well, as I'm sitting at my house bored all the time, right? Because I'm unemployed. I have the whole entire summer off because I wasn't planning on getting a job while I was pregnant. I start doing some more research. Because I just thought it was the weirdest thing that Christian had just left me, abandoned me, just pretty much. He would still talk to me every day. He would still text me every day, but he wasn't around me. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be something else going on. Well, I took a look at Lauren's profile and I thought about messaging her, but I didn't. So I start doing other profile checks, like on Alexa, because it was still in my mind, like, what's with Alexa? What is this? Is there something there? Is he with somebody else? Is he back with Alexa? I literally shit you not. I go to an alumni post and I find a picture of Alexa and Christian. It was literally like posted May 3rd, 2023. I find a picture of Alexa posted with Christian in like her wedding dress and in his military uniform, them like together in a wedding photo. And then it was like a picture of her alumni hockey, like her in her outfit. And then in the right hand corner, there's a picture of a baby. And the alumni post, actually here, let me read it. Oh my gosh. I'm really doing this. You know, it's so hard for me to do this because it brings back so many things for me, but yeah, I lost my shit this day. I literally lost my marbles. Alexa Stephenson. This was posted May 3rd, 2023. Alexa Stephenson, formerly Alexa Pfeiffer from Sylvania, Ohio, played goalie for the Bears from 2016 to 2020 and was named captain for both her junior and senior years. She played in 58 games with 20 wins, 4 shutouts, and an overall save percentage of 0.9, 21%, whatever. So this is like a hockey post. I'm just airing it all out, guys. I don't give a fuck. After graduating, Alexa plays hockey when she can. Since moving back to Ohio, she tries to find time to hit the ice with some pickup games here and there. Alexa has also gotten married, gained 2 stepdaughters, and started a family which included the welcoming of her son Spencer in December of 2022. She is currently pursuing a degree in nursing while working full-time as a nurse aide. Alexa enjoys spending time with her family, nights out with her husband, and learning each day how to be a better mother to her son. Thank you, Alexa, for sharing. So this was about like the end of May that I ended up bringing this up to Christian. Because I thought about it. It sat in my brain and I thought about it. Because Christian told me that Alexa had lost her baby. He told me back in November, December timeframe that he's like, yeah, I found out that Alexa lost her baby. Like, it's really sad, but, you know, I don't talk to that family anymore, but, you know, I do hope she's okay. So I'm thinking the whole time that Alexa's baby is not alive, you know, because he pretty much squashed that whole thing. Because he was like, Alexa cheated on me. She did get pregnant, but yeah, she lost the baby. So I freaking call him up while he's at work. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you still fucking married? And you obviously have a child with Alexa. And he's like, oh my God, are you on this shit again, Anna? I am so sick of your drama. I am so tired of this. I'm calling your mom and I'm going to tell her to make you calm down because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm literally spending my time at work talking to you. I've been on the phone with you this entire time. Like, I care about you. Stop thinking these things and stop being so jealous. I don't know what you're so jealous about. So then I get a call from my mom and she's like, what is your problem, Anna? Stop being so fucking insecure. Do something with yourself and just stop. Stop. That is not his kid. Stop. I'm like, Mom, I'm fucking telling you right now, like, this is absolutely insane. Like, see this picture? There's something up here. Like, this kid looks exactly like Christian. I'm not stupid. And so she's like, Anna, just stop. You should not worry about anything. Like, you really need to spend your time doing something else. Like, so I calm down. And then Christian comes over and he's just like, and you know what? I actually go back through my Facebook because I remember Alexa's profile was taken down. Maybe she took it down. Maybe she just blocked me. I don't know. I end up going through my blocked list on my Facebook page. And I noticed that Alexa's profile was blocked on my Facebook. I know I didn't do that. Christian knew my password to my phone. The only way that this happened was Christian went through my phone, blocked Alexa on my Facebook. He blocked Alexa on my Facebook back in August when I told him about say like, hey, can you get a hold of Alexa to take that profile picture down, because like if you guys are not married, or it shouldn't be up still. He's like, yeah, I'll take care of it, because it's not real, whatever. I found out that he blocked her from my profile. So it looked like Alexa took her profile down, but really, I just couldn't see her shit. And he was always so defensive. Anytime that I put a profile picture of me and him, he's like, why is our picture on your profile, Anna? Like, why is it your profile picture? He's like, I just don't want anybody at work to make fun of us or anything. Like, we just need to kind of keep that stuff off of social media. He's like, I hate social media. Can you please just take those pictures down? But then I started thinking, and I noticed that after the time that he had blocked Alexa from my profile, that he was okay with me posting pictures of him on my Facebook and stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. I started putting some pieces together, and I'm like, okay. For my own sanity, I kind of calmed down. So that day that Christian came over, after I freaking was like, after I seen that photo of like their marriage photo and the baby, he came over and he's like, why are you so jealous of my ex-wives, Anna? And I'm like, because like she shared this, and this child looks like you, like, and he's like, oh. So I showed him the photo, and he's like, yeah, I'm not too worried about that, Anna. Like, that is not my child. Like, this is absolutely crazy. He's like, I don't talk to that family anymore. I have nothing to do with them. I don't want to have any more drama with you, Anna. So I'm going to call her dad because I want this shit to stop. And I'm like, okay, as long as it stops, because I don't want to be in any bad situations. He's like, yeah, I'll give him a call. We can call him together if you like, but he's like, I just really don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to that family, but because I'm tired of this drama. So I was like, okay. So it gets squashed for a while.